The Malone Expo1 is going to be a medium capacity storage solution for your garage or wherever. It's going to be a wall mount, so whether you have drywall like this or a concrete wall, you just need a wall and you can mount it on up. This is going to give you a little bit more space in your garage. My garage is packed full of stuff, and it also kind of adds to the look as well. You can really show off your bike. Malone put a knob in the middle, and this is going to be unique to this mounting option on our site, and it's going to set it apart from all the others. And what that's going to do for your odd shaped frames, you just loosen this up and rotate it around, so your bike's going to sit nice and level even if you do have an odd shaped frame. So it doesn't really matter what kind of bike you have. Even if you do have a step through bike or a kiddo's bike, you can still use this with an adapter bar as well. And this is what that looks like. Go like that, get it all lined up, and it sits perfect. If you have an odd shaped frame on your bike, like this one, it's not gonna sit 100% level. So what we can do is we can take this off, and we can rotate it a little bit to where we need. I think it needs to go right a couple. We can tighten this down fully without the bike on it, put our bike back up, and this is going to be a little more level than before. So that's an adjustment we can do, but also kind of notice this. Our handlebars on this bike is a little bit bigger than normal, so what we can do, you take your bike off, and notice our little pads that we have right here. One, they come out to the rubber, so they're not going to scratch up your pretty frames. But we have two holes here, so I need about 2 inches or so. So if we move this right here to this hole at the end, then we'll have enough space for our handlebars. If we kept it in our position where we had the handlebar issue, it's going to sit about 12 inches off of the wall. So you can figure out if it's going to work with your bike just by measuring from the center of your handlebars to the end. And if it's a little bit more than 12, you're going to want to move it. And when we move it, it's going to give us about 13¼ inches from the wall. So that'll help us out a little bit. At the end of the day, if your handlebars are really, really wide, it's not going to adjust enough, but it's still going to be able to sit here, and your wheel will just be turned a little bit. But this is definitely a lot better. So there is some adjustments there. Another thing to figure out if your bike's going to work, you want to make sure you have at least about 13 inches of open space on the inside of your frame. So some of those kiddos bikes might not work, but with an adapter bar they might. So just take that measurement to make sure that this is going to work for you. If you like the idea of a horizontal style bike rack storage solution, this is going to be a great option for you with all the different adjustments. But if you do have a heavier bike like a fat tire bike or an e-bike, the capacity is going to be 33 pounds. So it might be a little too heavy for you. But when it comes to horizontal styles, this is going to be great because it is going to give you enough room for your handlebars, but it's still going to keep that amount of distance off your wall pretty low. Also, with the adjustments to make it so it's nice and straight, this is going to be a great way to maybe work on your bike. It's kind of a bike repair stand. There's full access both on the wall side and on the other side to make some little adjustments to your rig. If you do like the idea of a horizontal style storage solution for your bike and you need a little bit more capacity, the Feedback Sports Velo is going to go all the way up to 80 pounds. So for the fat tire bike, check, and the e-bike, check. You can do that with those. But if you do want a more cost-effective option, Malone also makes a hang time, which is going to be a little bit more cost-effective just so you can get your bike up and off the ground of your garage. If your garage is plenty wide but not that deep, you can use a vertical style, which is going to add a little bit more length from the wall out. But right now we have a lot of different bikes here on the wall with the same amount of space that we're taking up with the horizontal style. With the horizontal style, you could maybe stack them on top of each other if you mount them properly, but this is going to be great for more bikes with a wider garage and for your carbon fiber frames because these aren't going to have any frame contact. In my opinion, I do like the horizontal style better because I like to tweak some things on my bike. This is gonna be easier to work on your bike compared to the vertical style. But this is just like any other mounted option. It's super easy. 2 screws, find a stud, and you're done. So stick around, we're gonna show you how we did it. Depending on what kind of wall you have, we do wanna make sure that there's support behind it. With a drywall wall like this one, we wanna be able to find a stud on the wall. So go down, grab your stud finder, and find a stud. It's about right here. I do like to kind of mark it with my fingers to make sure I know exactly where it's at. And then also height's another thing to think about. If you want to have storage underneath, put it a little bit taller. But I think right about here is going to be good. So we want to line that up with that stud that we kind of marked before. If you have a level, that'd be nice. And then you just want to take a little marker of sorts and just mark the 2 holes, one on top and one on bottom. Take a 3/16 inch drill bit and drill out your pilot holes. This is going to help you confirm that there is a stud behind there. Definitely a stud. And do the same for our other hole on top. Line up the holes, and I do suggest starting with the top one just because it will hang. This will be a little bit easier with an extra set of hands if you have somebody, because they can just hold it up, but it's definitely a one-person job. Once we have it pretty much all the way in, I am gonna leave it a little loose just in case our holes didn't really completely line up. And you can do that same exact thing for the bottom. And these screws did come with the kit, so you do not have to source your own hardware unless you are drilling into a concrete wall. That's all there is to it. Last step, take your bike, hang it up. Pretty self-explanatory. Go ahead, put that in there. And that's pretty much it. That's a great storage solution for your bikes. My garage is always pretty dirty, and this is definitely gonna help. That's pretty much it for a look at the Malone Expo1 storage solution for your bike.